Boris Johnson, and he's offering all sorts of things. This equipment, I mean, of course it can't be enough, but it's pretty significant, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So, and especially as the new battle for Donbass is now going on here on the east of Ukraine, and Russia has concentrated all its troops and is trying to do an offensive operation to get as much control of the territories in Donbass as possible. And that's why all this military equipment will be used right here to combat with this offensive. And what is important to know is that here the Ukrainian troops in the east near Kharkiv are now doing a very effective counter-offensive operation, trying to push Russian troops further to the border with Russia. And according to the latest reports, about 40 kilometers was their path of how they have managed to push back Russian troops, and that's a good sign. And that means that Ukrainian army has a very good chances of stopping here the Russian troops from their ongoing offensive operation, and this aid and this military equipment will be used here for this.
I noticed, as you said, you're speaking to us from Kharkiv, and I wanted to ask you about reports overnight that I was reading about the bodies of Russian soldiers that have been left behind, which is, we're hearing is often happening in these places where the Russians have withdrawn, and those bodies not being reclaimed, but they've been placed into a Z formation. Are you able to tell us any more about that?
I haven't seen any information about that, but I do know that Russian troops leave their soldiers here because Russia doesn't care about anyone in the army, and they just leave the bodies lying in Ukrainian territory. And when they withdrew, and then the Ukrainian officials several times asked Russia to get these bodies out of our territory, or any international organizations to deal with them, but it has never happened. And you know what is striking is that what we see in Mariupol, where Russian troops bring crematoriums, mobile crematoriums, to burn the bodies of Ukrainian civilians that were killed there. And this is horrifying to know. And well, for their bodies, they don't care, and they just leave them here lying for more than 2 months now.
I just want to ask you about the situation in Mariupol. People here in the UK following this harrowing ordeal of civilians and indeed Ukrainian military very closely. Now, we've had the great news over the weekend of these successful evacuations, but the shelling once again has resumed now. And there's still women and children inside there.
Yes, the terrible situation in Mariupol, Azovstal, where people are blockaded, and that is Russian troops who blockade them there, so they cannot evacuate safely. And all the efforts of the Ukrainian government was put into these negotiations just to let people go and to save women, children, and wounded people. You know that the military hospital, which is located in the Azovstal, was bombarded heavily several days ago, so people who were already wounded were again hit by the Russian shelling. So we've got the report that the evacuation has started, and that gives us hope that this process, as it has already begun, will be going further. Still, these people have not yet arrived to Zaporizhia, a city which is controlled by Ukrainian troops and which is the nearest, closest safe location. So they are still on their way. And the problem is that the territories through which they go on these buses are controlled by Russian troops. And we all here are waiting just for them to arrive to Zaporizhia, because it has already taken them almost the whole day to get there.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.